Hello, this is the video to explain about the code that I share in the e-class. So if you look at the title, so it refers to the code that I share. So the first code is about dictionary example. I think if you remember, I already explained one example about this dictionary. Let's say here is the dictionary and we have one variable. The variable name is ages, and we have the key, which is Alice, and the value is 25. The second key is Bob, and the value is 30, and the third value is Charlie, and the value is 35. So let's suppose this is the name, and this is the age. Name and age. Name and age. So I would like to know what is the key in the ages, and then I want to know what is the value in the ages, and I want to know what is the key and value in the items. So items means both of key and value. Okay, so it repeats one more time to check what is the keys in the ages attribute and what is the value in the ages attribute. So if you run this, then you will get Alice, Bob, and Charlie. This is the key. And then what are the values? We have 25, 30, and 35. So if you look at the items, so it is a combination between key and values. So the key is the name and values is the age. Okay. So this is a repetition. So you can just take a look on the example. Next is about the two-dimensional list. So the two-dimensional list means we have a list. So this is the list, and we have another list. So 1, 2, 3 is a list inside a list. 4, 5, 6 it is a list inside a list, and 7, 8, 9 it is a list inside a list. So if I want to run and if I want to check every element of the list, then I need to make two for loop. So the first loop, is for the row. So this is the row number 1, and then we will move to the column. So the first, second, and the third. And then we go back to the second row. And then we move again to the column. So 4, 5, and 6. And then we go back again to the first. So we go to the next row, which is 7, 8, 9. Then we go again to the column 7, 8, and 9. So that's the way to do the two-dimensional list. If you run, maybe I will exclude this one. If you run, then you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's suppose I want to make the matrix and I want to see only the index, which is the index 0, 0. Then it means I want to see the first cell. So this is index 0, 0. If I want to see the index 1, 2. So it means I want to see the index 1. This is the index 1. And then the column 2. So here is the column 2. As you know, the array in Python, we will start from 0. So this is 0, 0.0, 0, 0.1, 0, 0.2. This is 1.0. 1.1, 1.2. This is 2.0, 2.1, 2.2. Okay. So the other example is about how to calculate the logistic cost. If you look at this example, I'm creating a new function. So you can take a look on this calculate total cost.py. So this is a function, and there are three arguments: node, cost dictionary, and quantity dictionary. So let's see. If node not in the cost dictionary, so let's say if there is no information about node in the cost dictionary, then let's return 0. So let's check the total cost. The total cost will start from 0. So I'm going to check the quantity. So I'm going to check all the items in the dictionary. And for the key and the value in the dictionary, I'm going to calculate the total cost. So the total cost here refers to the node and the cost and the dictionary. So I'm going to calculate the total cost by adding the current quantity multiplied by the cost of the dictionary. So in which the node, okay, the node refers to the key, and the child node refers to the next key, okay, and plus the child cost. Okay, so plus the child cost. So if you look at this one, we have the cost dictionary. So we have the factory as the key, and in this key we have another items. So we have warehouse 10 and retail store 20. So it means if I have an inventory in my factory, so I will take a look whether the item is from warehouse or the item is from retail store. If the inventory in the factory was from warehouse, so the cost is 10. But if the item in the factory was originally from retail store, then the cost is 20. So I'm going to check also the costs from costs in the warehouse. So if there are some items from the retail store in the warehouse, then the cost is 5. Now I will check. So we have the factory and warehouse, and you have the warehouse and the quantity in the warehouse. The quantity of the items in the factory from warehouse, it is 100, and the quantity from the retail store in the factory, so we have 200. Here we have a quantity inventory in the warehouse from retail store, then we have 150. Okay, so using this dictionary we can calculate. So the calculation will be 10 multiplied by 100, plus 20 multiplied by 200 plus 5 multiplied by 150. So if we calculate the total cost, then the result will be this amount. Okay. Now let's check another example. I'm going to have an inventory dictionary. So this is another kind of dictionary, and this dictionary represent the inventory. For example, I want to know how many apples do I have. So now I have 10. How many banana do I have? I have 5. And how many orange do I have? I have 8. I can do the add items. It means if I have a banana 5, I want to add some more banana. So it means the item is the banana and the quantity. I want to add how many items. So if the item is in the inventory, then you can have the inventory, the key item, and just add the quantity. But if the item is not in the inventory, so let's create a new item, and the new item will have a new quantity. We will have the remove item. So the remove item means I want to remove the item from the dictionary. So let's see if the item is in the inventory. So let's check if the inventory item is higher than the quantity. So you can just do minus. So minus the quantity. Okay. But if the inventory quantity, okay, the quantity here is higher than the inventory quantity, so let's make the error message, not enough quantity available for the item. If the item is not in the inventory, so please also raise the value error, the item not found in the inventory. Now I would like to check the quantity. Okay. So checking the quantity means I want to know how many quantity for a particular item. So if item in the inventory, so let's return the inventory item. Else return 0. Okay. Now let's check how if I want to know the initial inventory. So the initial inventory means this one: apple 10, banana 5, and orange 8. And then I want to add items. So apple will be added by 3, and then banana will be added by 2. Then apple becomes 13 and banana becomes 7. Okay. So I want to know the updated inventory. After I know the new inventory, now I would like to remove items. So I want to remove from orange 4 items. So I'm going to remove 4 items from the orange, which is 8 minus 4. So the current quantity of apples will be get quantity of apple, and the current quantity of orange, it will be the get quantity of orange. Then you can see here the initial inventory, we have apple 10, banana 5, and orange 8. And the updated inventory, we have apple 13, banana 7, and orange 8. And the current quantity, apples has 13, and the current quantity of orange has 4, because we have one statement to remove the item on orange. Okay. So the last one is about the inventory value. So this is another example how we can check the inventory value when you have this kind of data. So let's check. This data is very unique. Okay. So you have a list. Okay. You have a list, and you have another list, and you have another list. Okay. So let's say if I have one container. Okay. I have one container. So in the container, I have another container. Okay. So let's say this is a box, and this is 10. This is 20 items, and this one is 8. Okay. So we have 10, 20, and 8. And then inside this box, I have another item which is 5. I have another item which is 15. And I have another box. So another box, it contains 2 items which is 3, and it contains another item which is 7. Okay. So how can we calculate the total items in this container? Okay, then the total item in this container, I can define the inventory value. So the total value will be started with 0. So I want to know for all the items. So I want to do the loop. Okay. Every item in items, so check the instance. So is instance of item, comma, integer, if there exists any value. So let's put the item, add it into the total value. However, we want to check if the instance of the item is a list, then we can calculate the inventory value of the item. Means we will do the recursion. So this is the total value plus equal calculate inventory value item. Then using this recursion, yeah, we will do again same until the last item, which is here. Okay. So this is the explanation. This inventory contains 4 items. So 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4. Okay. So the 2 individuals item worth 10 and 20. A nested inventory containing 3 items worth 5, 15, and 20. Okay. And a single item worth 8. So the total value will be calculate the inventory values based on the data in items. So the total will be 71 or 78. Wait a moment, let's run. Okay, 78. So this is 78. Okay, so I think that's all about the code. Hopefully you can understand the code. There might be some problems about this code in your quiz. Good luck and have a good day.